Hey, what's up? It's Lizard Bites. Come to talk to you about the fake avocado oil news and what that means for your GLP-1 diet. So recently they came out, University of California, Davis, did a study last month in July 2026. They tested 54 products labeled as made with avocado oil. 48 of the 54 of them turned out to be fake. So that's got a lot to say about our food system here in the United States, because not only are they ripping you off, they're poisoning you too. How American is that? So this week, I'm going to bring it to you by my family bank Commerce here in the state of Missouri. It happens to have some outstanding service. Due to the kitchen thing that I've explained before in the videos and why we're doing videos instead of doing food content, water leak, insurance screwed us over. So the bank has always told me like, oh yeah, you're pre-approved for this and you need auto loan, want to do some home equity, whatever. You're approved, all these great numbers. So every time we've ever needed these people, they've shot us down. So late this week again, having to scramble last minute, just out of rage, switch our account somewhere else, find somebody that's going to give us some fair terms to be able to get some kind of money to start fixing this kitchen, since we're in between a rock and a hard place. So that's where they were at with that. So as far as this news about the fake avocado oil and what it means for your GLP-1 diet, just you have to kind of understand some of the science about why my approach and a lot of other people, for various reasons, say that we have to get away from the seed oils. And some of this is conspiratorial, because you'll always have people that say, oh well, the science says it's safe and it's been done, it's been evaluated and recognized as food. And you can dig into how that's worked on several different things, but I think, back post World War II, they came up with, the excess of a lot of industrial byproduct stuff that they were using. Had a great idea it needed to be food, could be hydrogenated to make shelf stable. And, at the time the science said, oh yeah, this is great. And then we wind up having obesity epidemic and heart disease and everything else for the last 50 years and wonder where it came from. But recent investigation into what's really going on with that has identified that all of these seed oils have in common is containing linoleic acids that has the potential to be responsible for the inflammatory response in the body. I feel like if you have a lot of inflammation in your body, a lot of other things going on, then a lot of your normal processes are interrupted and in haywire. And at least for me, in my experience, I've always found that makes it more difficult to lose weight. And you just really think about it psychologically, it's a difficult proposition to sustain weight loss and have the discipline to reject your body's naturally signaling, telling you you're hungry. And then you have the compounded effect of the psychology that a lot of people are comfort eaters, and it just makes it that much more difficult to overcome. And I think if you really want to try to take your health, you take your weight seriously and what's going on, then when that something causes inflammation in the body, and there's natural alternatives that don't, then you have to ask yourself, why are we using it? And it really only benefits the consumer supply goods chain operation, people, food industry. Doesn't do any good for us. So we have to look into natural alternatives for these things that already existed, and we go back to it and we find that it tastes better, it's better for the body, it may not be shelf stable and not rot for 3 months on the shelf, but it works for your body, it works for weight loss and your health. So some of the things that I've taken to recently to get away from the avocado oil thing, because I was really, invested that, this was significant and helping a lot. And if a lot of these products are fake, then, we could even do even better by getting away from them. And there's beef tallow. This is a politically charged argument to make with the RFK and the Make America Healthy Again, and how these things become a political divide when, the end of the day, what matters is our health more than, am I aligning with these people over here, these people over here. They're probably owned by the same people and puppets of both anyway, so what does it even matter? What we got to do, what's going to make us healthy. So beef tallow is something that I've really switched to. There was the same company that makes a lot of the chips that were found out to be fake, Boulder, actually came out with a line of beef tallow chips that they've had in the Costco, and I got some of this. Just like, you taste it and you ask yourself, why was I eating this other stuff? It made you think about all the name brand potato chips and things like that, and after a while they taste like kind of chemically plasticky, barely potato. But this made with the beef tallow, I don't know, it gives everything that you think about why McDonald's fries taste good, and it makes you understand is that beef essence flavoring that they're adding to it. If you could imagine that, or some steak and shake French fries, this what gives these potato chips that. And I know we're not supposed to be eating a lot of potato chips on a diet anyways, but in moderation, small servings. I've had it as a snack here and there. I'm not like when I was 100 pounds heavier, I could destroy chips, so now they've took me more than a week before I even opened them anyways. So they also have olive oil chips. I haven't tried those yet. Maybe I should. I've really gotten away from it. Don't need to start a new habit just for telling you guys about some stuff. But olive oil in general does not have the linoleic acid. It also has many understood beneficial compounds in it for your health. And then you can also make clarified butter or ghee for your cooking, but they all are perfectly acceptable substitutions for the avocado oil in this uncertainty of what's going on with that. They're probably not ever going to do anything about that either. So like, it's a really sad state. You just have to figure out, what you're going to do for yourself to eat the best diet that you can and try to achieve your goals. So hopefully this information helped you, and you will stay tuned for the next update of when I've got something important to rant about. Is what it seems to be until I get my kitchen fixed. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.